ExchangeBit, your number one source for sports news and updates. Visit our sites, link in the description below.
At this stage of LeBron James' storied career, winning an MVP isn't simply about making a statement in the present, it's about making history. Another trophy would tie James with Michael Jordan and Bill Russell in regular season MVPs and place him one behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for most MVPs in NBA history. Speaking of Abdul-Jabbar and records, LeBron James joined the Lakers legend and Karl Malone in the 35,000-point club in LA's loss to the Brooklyn Nets on Thursday. With about 4 more All-Star caliber seasons, James can visibly catch Cap on the all-time scoring list. He probably won't catch Abdul-Jabbar in MVPs, but another Maurice Padolf would undoubtedly mean more to the King. James passed another milestone, but the Lakers fell in their first real test without Anthony Davis as the Nets rolled. On Saturday night, the Lakers will be faced with the challenge of dealing with Bam Adebayo without AD as the Lakers host the Miami Heat in the 2020 Finals rematch. If your glass is half full, you could argue that Davis' recent calf strain carries a few silver linings. For one, it allows Davis to earn extra rest for at least 4 weeks. The All-Star has dealt with various bumps and bruises this season, which Frank Vogel partially attributed to the condensed offseason. Davis' absence will also push the Lakers' versatile and deep rotation, which should prove beneficial in the postseason. Finally, Davis' injury undeniably strengthens LeBron James' MVP narrative. You don't have to read too closely in between the lines to glean that the 36-year-old wants to win his 5th MVP in his 18th season. As ESPN's Brian Windhorst broke down, James had publicly vented his frustration about the MVP result on multiple occasions throughout his career, including in 2016 and 2018. Last season, after Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis won his 2nd consecutive MVP, James acknowledged he was pissed off about not receiving a first-place vote. Notably and surprisingly, James had played every game this season and has played each one like somebody who is consciously campaigning. Even before Davis went down, LeBron James had seized control of the MVP narrative, existing mainly via the media and in the discourse. Earlier this month, James easily topped an ESPN straw poll of award voters to this point, and that sentiment continues to echo. Last season, James' teammates openly advocated for him, but it's highly probable that the presence of another superstar weakened his case. In 2020-21, the Lakers, the fanbase, and seemingly the entire sports media apparatus are intent on starting the awards chatter earlier. To this point, that discussion has entered on the 2020 Finals MVP. The Kings' hold on their narrative is understandable. While voter fatigue has robbed LeBron James of multiple MVPs throughout his never-ending prime, the voters should be refreshed after taking 8 years off picking the best player in the game. Plus, his performance in the bubble and continued night-to-night greatness has served as a stark reminder to the basketball world that he is the best player on the best team, full stop. James has led the Lakers to a 22-8 record, 3 games behind the Utah Jazz in the loss column. He's averaging 25.9 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 7.9 assists per game, and has been generally committed on defense. He's shooting 37.2% from 3 on a career-high 9.3 attempts per game, which Vogel has credited for opening up the team's offense and helping the Lakers beat teams over the top. James' value has been more apparent in crunch time, further helping him seize the early momentum in the MVP race. Per low in crunch time, LeBron James is shooting 24 of 49 from the floor, and the Lakers are 10-3 with an elite positive 52. More importantly, his leadership has helped steer the Lakers through an utterly complex campaign. and the examples he set by decidedly not managing his load after the championship run has rubbed off on the rest of his squad. That's why he's probably going to be this year's MVP, carrying the load offensively and quarterbacking the defense, the number one defense in the league, and taking these tough assignments and making these plays down the stretch. Vogel said last Saturday he's playing terrific. Now, with Davis set to miss a hefty chunk of the season, and lead ball handler Dennis Schroeder potentially out for multiple games due to health and safety protocols, James has a golden opportunity to further cement his case with a slew of nationally televised, high-profile showdowns. So far, the Lakers are 4-2 without Davis, but 0-1 against good teams. The 5 wins have been a nail-biter against lottery teams. If LeBron James can continue delivering the late-game heroics, triple-doubles, and the Lakers finish the first half strong, his grip on the narrative will only tighten. By the time Davis returns, James could have the MVP award all sewn up and ready to focus his attention on the more important hardware. Another Larry O'Brien trophy.
Click and subscribe to get the latest news and updates. You can also visit our sites for uninterrupted live sports 24/7. Check out the link below to find the nearest exchange bet outlet in your location.